Welcome to Rebecca and Rebecca.
Where we love books.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of Rebecca and Rebecca. My name is Rebecca Yager, coming to you from outside of Dallas, Texas, and my partner in books is the lovely and talented and very busy Rebecca Reed. Hey, Rebecca.
Hello. Yes, I definitely am busy. It's track season. We're in the midst of that, and school's almost out, so there's all that stuff going on. There's a lot going on. So, plus I'm writing,
You're
all the
writing. Yeah, let's throw that
things.
in. You're writing. Well, I'm
Yeah,
writing too, so it's getting
toss that in there. Yes.
very good. Well, today we are going to talk books, of course, and we're talking a specific book. We are reviewing Detecting Deadly Threats by Carol J. Post. This is a love inspired suspense book, and it is part of the Canine Search and Rescue series. We say series loosely because these are standalone books with kind of the same thematic elements
hmm
that Love Inspired Suspense is doing.
But there are a lot of them. So if you like the theme, I mean, you can go find a ton of them. So.
If you like the canine search and rescue, yeah, this is the place to go. But
hmm
specifically, we're doing detecting deadly threats. So, what'd you think of it? You have to
Well,
tell us
how
about it.
about I will let me read the back cover copy so we can kind of get a little insight and then we'll chat about what I liked and what I didn't
Yeah,
as
sorry,
as
I'm
we
the
get done
one
with that.
jumping
Now
ahead
you're
this
jumping
time.
ahead. I know. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's you. Maybe it's the beginning that messes us up. I don't know. Anyway, this is what it says on the back. With ruthless criminals closing in, this canine is on a mission to defend. Amateur photographer Lauren Hollander narrowly escapes a kidnapping attempt moments before a disastrous earthquake rocks her small town, destroying her store. She is saved from the rubble by Zachary Kimball and his search and rescue canine ranger. Someone is determined to get to Lauren, but who and why? Is it tied to her brother's criminal past? Or are the culprits after the pictures on her camera? Under Zack and Ranger's protection, Lauren races to discover the truth behind all the attacks. But as the danger escalates, can they survive long enough to untangle the mystery that's putting their lives on the line? So there it is. Love inspired suspense. There's a gorgeous little dog, not little dog. He's a bloodhound, so he's not terribly little, but there's a nice dog on the cover, and I like that. So um, yeah, there you go.
Well, speaking of bloodhounds, that was an interesting choice for a search and rescue dog because we're used to the German Shepherds or the what's the other we hear
Malinois.
mountain those the, and uh and this was really different, I thought.
Well, we've had an Airedale because Lisa Phillips used an Airedale, which also was a very interesting choice. So yeah, a bloodhound. I mean, I think of bloodhounds as being a tracking type dog, so I don't know why more people maybe don't use bloodhounds, but this is the first book that I've read that actually had a bloodhound. So interesting. But this dog is not a he's not like a he doesn't track specifically. He does a little bit, but that's not his main like purpose. His main purpose is finding people in uh, disaster situations. So, Bloodhound with the nose, I mean, that makes sense, I guess. So,
He's a true search and rescue dog.
right.
um, Finding this. So, here we are with Lauren Hollander, has her own jewelry store. She's established in this, cute little town, amateur photographer, just trying to find her way in the world. And suddenly, talk about it crumbling around her. Earthquake destroys
Literally,
almost everything, right?
yes.
You know,
Yeah,
her
and before the earthquake, even, like, her life wasn't exactly perfect. She had been rescuing her own lost relative, so to speak, if you want to look at it that way, because she had kind of her own mission, right? and with her brother who
with her
had been
brother.
in trouble, and she invited him to come and live with her, and so she was trying to help him get on his feet. So she already had some weighty things going on, and then all of a sudden the literal roof falls down on her in this earthquake. So it's kind of it's a very vivid visual
Mm-hmm.
inciting incident, if you want to look at it that way,
Mm-hmm.
for a writer from a writerly point of view. It's a very very visual step through into the adventure of the book or of the story, when that happens. And of course, the dog finds her. We already know this, right? This is not a spoiler because if he didn't find her, there would be no story. So he does find her. I'm not telling you anything you're not going to figure out.
In the aftermath of the earthquake, yes, he finds her.
Correct.
So,
So
so
that puts Lauren and Zach in proximity. And then there's another complication. William, the nephew.
William is Zach's 13-year-old nephew who has just recently come to live with him. He's been uprooted from his old life, mother tragically killed, and is 13, tough age, and he's not a happy kid at
No.
all. And yet, so here he is with his uncle, and they are renting the apartment above Lauren's jewelry shop. So their home has been now destroyed in this earthquake as well. Yes.
Yeah, it's rough. So neither of them, so the hero and the heroine are both out of a place to work, like their whole world has kind of imploded. His home, her work, and then so basically she invites them to go to her house because where are they going to go?
Mhm.
And so it works out really well. They have the dog and the nephew, and they all then have somewhere to stay, which is great. Um, and Lauren's Lauren has a lot of tragedy in her past too that we find out about that
Mhm.
has impacted her a lot.
Yeah.
Um, And but you know what I really think I liked about this book the most was that I felt like the escalation of events and the clues that were discovered as to the mystery of, who was causing, who was hunting her, what was going
Who's after
on.
Lauren? Yeah, and why?
hmm
Hmm.
I thought that Carol did a great job of the escalation process. Like there was a little thing, and then a little bigger thing, and then a
Hmm.
bigger thing, and then a really big thing. And it just,
Hmm.
her progression of the disasters in the book, I thought she did a fantastic job with that. I really, really, if I was going to study this book for something, that would be what I would look at. Um, I do feel like the dog played a slightly smaller role than in other search and rescue books that we've seen as far as the searching and rescuing. There is some of that, but the dog is more almost a companion,
Yep.
than he is.
Protector, though.
Yeah,
He's.
oh, definitely the protector is there. Yes.
Mhm.
But it's like, some books, it's like you're constantly out there, the dog's working, doing some kind of search and rescue. This is not quite like that. It's a little different. Not that the dog's not there or doing something. It's just not the search and rescue part so much, which you see, it's just different in that way. And I thought not that it's bad. I liked it. I'm just saying it was a different thing. That's all.
There's a different feel to this book because of the characters, because we have the nephew. And again, love inspired books are a little bit smaller word count. And I think Carol packed a lot into this book. So the Ranger is there, and Ranger is still very much a side character, and a great protector. And but you've got, I don't know, there's a lot of depth to the characters in this because of, Lauren's past, but she's independent. She's trying to stabilize herself with her business, bringing her brother to town to hopefully stabilize him. And then we've got Zach looking for the fresh start. And again, these guys are all looking for stability and looking for fresh starts in a sense. And man,
Yeah.
it's not going to happen, of course.
No, because this guy keeps whoever he is, like we constantly is disrupting everything, right? So they'll something will happen where they'll be like settled, and then all of a sudden they're not settled anymore, and they have to run away and do something else because there's, this guy
Whoever's
and
after
it
Lauren. Yeah.
and I don't know about you, but I did not know who he was at first. I mean, it took me a minute to
Mhm.
figure it out. So
Mhm.
I liked her mystery was good because I
Mhm.
did not at least I didn't. Some of you might, I don't know, you might be a better detective than I am when it comes to that, but I didn't get it for quite some time. I didn't know who all the like players were.
I didn't either, and I thought it was well done. A lot of a few red herrings along the way, so to speak, that took you off the trail. In
Hmm.
fact, the one I suspected was totally not. I was totally wrong. And I think sometimes you and I are pretty good at,
Hmm.
trying to solve who's the bad guy. And yeah, we didn't do it this time.
Nope.
So it was good. The characters are good, and like you said, the escalating levels of tension and conflict are good, and they're natural and they're not contrived. Because you can see one thing
Yes.
happening. It all made sense
Hmm.
of why they had to
Yeah.
keep moving.
And
Yeah.
the relationship was good too. I liked how she brought them together. I liked the role that the nephew William played in kind of in between and Ranger as well, like how those two kind of helped bring Lauren and Zach together.
Mhm.
And it was a real slow progression too, as far
Mhm.
as their relationship, because it was very professional and based, and very kind of need based almost at the
Mhm.
beginning. I mean,
Mhm.
they just had nowhere to stay. She was a caring person though. She cared and
Mhm.
nurtured. She was
Mhm.
very nurturing.
Mhm.
And the fact that William and her shared grief,
Mhm.
past grief, that really helped pull those two together, and then which made the the relationship piece of the romance very organic, I
Mhm.
thought.
Mhm. No, yeah, it was true to life. I don't know how to explain that, but William wasn't just this sulky teenager that she brought onto the page just to, you know, stir
Yeah, to
things
cause
up.
trouble. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
there,
No,
there was
no,
some.
it was. I thought he had as much of an arc almost as the
Mm-hmm,
hero and heroine. I
mm-hmm,
mean, they all grew a
mm-hmm,
tremendous amount through this story. And it was interesting that it was set in Tennessee because this is not a hotbed of earthquake
earthquake activity.
happenings, activities. I live, I mean, I live in Indiana, and we have had an earthquake in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember it. I was in college at the time, so it was a while ago because, I'm not
Oh,
young. So, um,
shit, I'm older than you are, so watch it.
well, I don't feel old. I mean, I feel fine,
No.
but like, certain people would say, anyway, that's neither here nor there. The fact is, I've been through an earthquake.
A while
One,
back in Indiana.
a while back in Indiana, there was an earthquake. There's been more than one, but there was one that you could feel.
Mm,
And I remember it. And I remember it was in an apartment at the time because it was in college. So I remember, like standing and holding onto the wall because everything was shaking. And I remember things like jiggling on the shelves and things.
mhm,
And I had friends that were meteorology majors, so we all ran over to the meteorology building afterward to see the seismograph.
mhm.
Which was really interesting because normally it's really boring to look at, and then all of a sudden it's got these big wide
And you can see the
swings, because
lines.
things were happening, right? But Tennessee, it's set in a little town called Ridgely, Tennessee, and I don't know that that's a real place necessarily. It's probably not, but if it is, I don't know. But there's definitely a fault line, that runs through this
Mhm.
Midwest area that a lot of people aren't aware of because they don't have the big flashy earthquakes, right? Like you
Right.
hear about in other
They're
places.
they're not California.
They're
I don't know.
little.
Little shaking going on, so to speak. I don't know. We'll have to ask Carol how she came
I
up with this
know.
or how
I'm
she
interested, to
stumbled
see
upon the
because
research.
right.
So,
So that's just a little setting piece there that made the story interesting because of where it was set. So she was able to use that as the first kind of disaster. So
Hmm.
set it all up.
But yeah, it's good. Again, Zach and William are renting the apartment above the jewelry store. Jewelry store's destroyed in the earthquake, therefore they're homeless. Lauren, being the good-hearted person, is taking them in. She's independent, but her brother's reputation is not good, and that as much as she's trying to establish herself in the community, there's still some whispers going on, And then Zach is a protector. He's steady. He is a little bit of a fish out of water, but he is focused on the responsibility of raising his nephew now. And then, conflict with, wait, who's after Lauren, his landlord? But, what's going
Yeah.
on? And all because of maybe a photograph. I think we can say that, right?
Yeah, it talks about the photographs
Yeah.
on the back cover copies. So yeah, a photograph. And you think, think how many photographs you've snapped in your life.
Oh
What
gosh.
if you caught something that somebody didn't want to get out on your camera?
Yeah.
Would people come after, it's just kind of it's like a very realistic setting,
Oh,
situation, not
sure.
setting, situation,
Sure.
because people do that all
Sure.
the time. You take pictures of nature, or you take pictures of, you're visiting a city and you take pictures of the whatever you're seeing. You never know who's in the background of those
People are
pictures.
walking through yeah,
Yeah.
the whole thing. So,
So
you
kind of
know.
interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Um,
I did enjoy this story a lot. I would recommend, and I listened to it, by the way.
oh, okay.
So,
So how
because
was the
not all
narrator?
the Love Inspired Suspense have audio, but this one
Mhm.
does. So if you are an audiobook listener, this one does have audio, and it was very well done. I didn't have any issues with the to complain about with the narrator. So I would recommend that. And yeah, it's a quick listen. It took. I mean, I listen like at 1.4 or 1.5 usually, and I think it
Your
took me
speed,
4 hours, to listen to. So you could do this in a quick, short car trip or a few commutes, however you want to do it. Break it up, right? So,
well, and it's a quick read too because it's just, you want to keep reading. There's
hmm
the good tension and the action being built up, and it is a good mystery. You are trying to figure things out. So there's the level of danger. There's the slow burn romance, which I did. Slow burn was realistic too because there's too much going on here for, oh, let's have an earthquake and fall in love. No, that wouldn't have
no,
worked on this, especially with a 13-year-old kid around either. So it was a nice slow burn. They came to care for each other in the midst of the disaster, but there was more depth, more than it's not going to fall apart once everything calms
yeah,
down either. So like that, and William and Ranger, the dog, just add, they're our favorite side characters, so to speak.
yep, yeah,
The sheriff in town was a good small town sheriff, but really earnest, trying to do um, what he could. And yeah,
yeah. And he wasn't bumbling. I like that too, because
yeah,
we see that a lot, and I'm kind of over the bumbling sheriff, motif as well. But
yeah.
this guy was on point. He was doing everything he could. He worked with them to try to keep everybody safe, and
You know what? Now that you say that, there were not a lot of cookie cutter characters. Ooh, say
no,
that three
it
times
wasn't
fast.
a big cast, to be honest. It was a pretty small, manageable cast, I feel like, and she did a really good job of giving them each a very distinct
Mhm.
personality and not the stereotype. Yeah,
Right,
the cookie
right.
cutter. Yeah.
So,
Yep.
so good characters, interesting premise with the earthquake or the inciting incident, and then a good mystery to try to
Mm-hmm.
untangle. Plus, all the emotional things going on between Lauren's brother and Zach's nephew, and
And the dealing with grief was well done. I thought she did a very good job of that as well with the two
so
characters.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to. Carol is a new author to me. Carol J. Post wrote the book, but I don't think it'll be my last book by her.
No, I definitely agree. Especially if she has another canine book coming out. I mean, I'm in, me and the animals. I'm like that might be after. Especially, I think I definitely listened to it all in one day.
Yeah,
It didn't take me more than one day.
yeah,
So,
yeah, so
yeah.
easy. So we are going to talk to Carol J. Post here in a couple of weeks. So come back and join us on the 25th. No, on the 29th. Get my calendar right.
Yes.
That's
29th. Today,
April
yes,
29th.
29th.
We will be talking with Carol right here. But meanwhile, we've got, well, next week for our book bite, we're doing something totally different. And this is kind of
Yes.
exciting for us because up till now it's been authors and books, but you, the audio queen there, we are
I
talking
found
to.
another queen. She's the clean reads queen and she narrates audiobooks. And so we had a chat with Emma Faye and it was really an interesting chat. We've already recorded it, so we can say this. We really enjoyed talking to her. She is a fantastic. She just, if you're interested at all in how the narrator goes about preparing for the narration and what all goes into the production of it, you definitely need to check out next week's book bite because that is what she tells us. She goes right into all of that and it was fascinating. I really enjoyed it, and I think that even Becky, who's not really the audio person, she liked it too. It was really fascinating just to hear the behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, listen, I'm an old broadcast girl. I did
That's
radio and
true. That's
television
true.
for a long time. So yes, I was totally loved it. It brought back a lot of broadcasting memories too with MFA. So that was fun. So if you are into audiobooks, like Rebecca is, then join us next week on Book Bites. Join us in 2 weeks on the 29th for our interview with Carol J. Post. Meanwhile, you can go to our website to catch up on any past episodes you've missed, to check out the schedule of things coming up, and that's at rebeccaandrebecca.com. What do you like to say? Like and
Like
subscribe
and
on our social
subscribe so you don't miss
media.
anything. Absolutely. And there may be a few polls here and there. You just have to kind of keep your eye out for those. You never know when we're going to put something up there. And yeah, just share with your friends. If you have friends that are readers that like to listen about, to reviews and or the interviews, please share. Let them know about us. So we appreciate your being here. Appreciate your spending time with us and hope to see you next week.
Yep. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.